Hi everyone! Hope you guys are all doing really well. Thank you for tuning back in. Today I'm talking about something really interesting in terms of emotionally intelligent parenting, which you guys know is what all my videos are based around. And this is how we can look at behavior of our kids in a really practical, positive way. And I'm talking about those behaviors that are challenging to us. They might trigger us. We often can get really frustrated when our kids have these poor behaviors that make us wonder, like, why would you do that? Why are you blowing up? Why are you acting so selfish? This, that, the other. So what I want to talk about is why it is so important never ever to look at the behavior on the surface level. Like just looking at our kids and what they've just done, snatched a toy from their sibling, or like dropped their cereal in a fit of rage or something like that. We can never just look at their behavior with that superficial lens. Okay, so sometimes, it can often depend on our own mood and kind of levels of, our well-being and our self-care and things like that. If we have time to spend on our own self-care and we've had enough sleep and our cup is full, then sometimes we are able to look a bit deeper into the behavior and not react so much. But on the flip side, we know that if we have a lot of what I call setting conditions, which are things that make us more likely to be triggered, we're going to snap and lash out when our kids do something that seems wrong or bad or naughty to us. Okay, so what I want to talk about is how we can look a little bit deeper into the behavior in order to actually help ourselves and our kids navigate through a challenging behavior if one is coming at us. So I often use the example of, and it happens quite commonly in our house, my 3-year-old will ask for ice cream before dinner. There was a time that the home ice cream truck that goes around the streets was dinging their bell. We ran out, bought the ice creams, put them in the freezer, and so she knew they were in there, and she was like, "Mummy, I really want an ice cream." It was like 4 o'clock, and I was like, we have dinner first. You have to wait, kind of thing. So when I use my emotionally intelligent brain, which is most of the time, but I am human, and there are times when everything falls apart. When I do that, then I can look a little bit deeper into why she is complaining, why she is whinging, why she is getting frustrated and angry and being antagonistic to her brother, for example. So if you think of your child's behavior as almost like an iceberg, this is a really good analogy. If we accept and realize and have that awareness that what we see is only the tip of the iceberg with their behavior, have a look a little bit deeper about what is driving their behavior. Okay, so I always say as well, behavior is communication. Our kids are communicating or telling us something, maybe not intentionally, but they are definitely using their behavior to communicate something like, I can't cope with this, it's too hard, I can't wait, I'm not patient enough, I don't have this skill yet, I need your support, don't give up on me. All of these things can be things that our kids are communicating using their behavior. So keep that in mind. So when we look a little bit deeper in the iceberg and underneath the behavior, we are looking at, see if you can recognize what is driving this behavior that I'm getting on the surface. Okay. So when my daughter is whinging and complaining that she wants ice cream before dinner, and I'm saying, no, you need to wait 1 more hour, we'll have dinner and then you can have ice cream. What's underneath the whinging and the tugging at my legs as I'm cooking, and maybe even the verbal aggression of, I don't like you anymore, like those kind of lashing out. Firstly, I would almost anticipate that for sure, but maybe even welcome that release of emotion. She's upset, she's frustrated, and she's impatient, and it's so natural for her to express that, right? I'm not saying that we accept any behavior that might be, rude or hurtful or dangerous. Accepting emotions is very different to accepting the behavior or the, what goes along with it, right? And that's where boundaries come in, which is a different video altogether, but I have to mention it. So if we have a look at what that whinging or that complaining and that tugging is underneath the surface, what's driving that is her inability to be patient and have the patience and wait for a certain amount of time before she can have what she wants. Perhaps the lack of empathy that she has for me. I'm busy cooking, trying to get things done, or maybe writing emails and things like that. She just wants my attention. She just wants the connection and wants the ice cream that she wants. So also looking at, I always often come back to, we know our kids' brains are underdeveloped. If we can remind ourselves of this in the moment and think, oh, well, it makes sense that she's complaining about this because she doesn't have that fully developed understanding of logic, which would show her, if I continue to whinge and complain, mum will get angry. She'll probably say, look, no ice cream at all because you're being so rude or silly, and then I won't get ice cream, and then I'll be upset for the rest of the night. Versus if I can be patient now, go and be busy and do something else, then I'll wait for dinner, and then I get ice cream straight away, and the night will be great and I'll be happy. She doesn't have that logic and that sequence, like that linear sequence, the understanding of that. So when you look at behavior a little bit deeper, look at all that information you get, and then you know how to navigate. Now I know, I anticipate my kids' behavior. It makes sense to me. I know how to diffuse those big emotions and those meltdowns. I can hold space for my kids because I have that understanding. And I don't look at behavior on that super surface level, which really, when you do that, you just get triggered and you get pissed off. So I would love you guys to keep that in mind. Have a think about the behavior that you commonly see from your kids that might frustrate or trigger you. How can you be looking a little bit deeper at this and thinking, what is driving that? Is it that my kids don't have these cognitive skills yet? Are they hungry? Are they tired? Are they unwell? What are the things that's driving this challenging behavior? So I hope that was really helpful for you guys, learning a little bit more about behavior, looking deeper under the iceberg and seeing what's driving it. That can be so powerful and so practical. And I am always sharing lots of tips, info and strategies over on my Facebook channel, my Facebook group, I should say. And that is called Let's Raise Emotionally Intelligent Kids. I would love you guys to hop on over there and join the conversation. And as always, if you can subscribe to these videos, you will not miss another one that comes up, all about how we can raise emotionally intelligent kids. All right, have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.